Hey y'all, welcome back to the Because Adulting is Hard podcast. I'm Elita Caldwell, the owner of The Funky Monkey, as well as the host of this podcast. And I'm super excited to have my friend Breanne Salcedo today. Not only is she my friend, but she's my business coach, my mentor, my friend, my, oh my God, what am I doing with my life person? So let's talk a little bit. I'm going to hand it over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started with action coaching. And then we're going to kind of go into today's content of what is a business, kind of defined by Action Coach.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Elita. So I am so excited to have this conversation today. I'm excited to be here. I am Breanne Salcedo. A little bit about my history and how I got started in Action Coach. I actually was an occupational therapist, something completely different than a business coach. My true passion was taking patients that were paralyzed, spinal cord injury, brain injury, stroke recovery, and making them whole and giving them quality of life again. Imagine a paralyzed person and then who thought they have nothing left in life and being able to bring them back to quality. That was my true passion. As I traveled around the country doing occupational therapy, I had a severe desire to make business better because every single facility I walked in was in operational chaos. My passion transitioned from the paralyzed patient to the paralyzed business or the growing business to give business owners freedom of life, to give employees freedom of life, a completely different I'd say world with understanding and learning business, but the same actual vision and desire to give people life back. I actually had about a dozen business coaches before I had my action coach. So I was actually a client. I was on that side of the table as a client and recognized that I literally bleed action coach, taking someone from a true position of desiring betterment of life, betterment of humans, community, and all that. And giving them the education, planning, tools, and motivation and accountability to get there. So it's been an interesting journey, quite organic.
It is kind of, and one of the things that I like about business coaching, I tell people all the time, it's literally like therapy for my business. Because I mean, being a small business or being a business owner of any type, whether small, medium, large, whatever, it is a very stressful experience. And there's a lot of things that I just didn't know that I didn't even know when I first started business. So I tell people all the time, my biggest thing is I wish I'd have hired a trainer for my business earlier because I'm just that person. I need somebody to teach. It's almost, in my opinion, I'm going to let you get into a little bit of what you do because I do think it's really important, but it's genuinely an opportunity to learn business as it applies to your business. It's practical application of learning business versus going to school to get an MBA kind of style.
Yes, I love one thing. I love everything you say all the time. You're just awesome. But the one thing that I love that you said is that you wish you would have got a trainer for your business earlier. The one misconception that people have about business coaching is they think that they have to be hurting to get coaching. So I'll give an example. Michael Jordan. Do you think Michael Jordan was hurting and terrible at what he did before he got a coach? No, he was phenomenal. They understood his ability to play basketball and lead and become one of the best. It's the same thing in business. That's what coaching is all about. It's identifying that you truly desire to have one of the best businesses and you want to change, morph, enhance your personal, professional, business life and your finances. But you've identified it's a difference between someone waking up in the morning and saying, I want to go to the hospital. I'm sick. I need an IV. I need a Band-Aid. Or I truly am ready for the gym. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I want that motivation. I want that trainer. I'm going to make that happen.
And it's truly exactly that. It is, there's so many things in business you start doing and you start going through that sometimes you just need somebody to be like, no, last week you said you were doing, what are you doing this week? You know, I mean, and so I think that's one of my beginning favorite things. I know that in our program, we start out with kind of a 6-step program. Can we start out with that a little bit?
Sure. I think that's a great place to start today. Okay. As we're doing this podcast together is a lot of people, if you Google what is the definition of a business, you're going to find tons of different answers. Same thing with entrepreneur. If I ask someone if they're an entrepreneur, they say yes immediately. And really, they're truly self-employed and trying to figure out how to get to an entrepreneurial level. How we define that in Action Coach truly is to have a true business is to have a commercial, profitable enterprise that runs without you. Getting to the entrepreneurial state where you can make money from profits in your business and making decisions towards freedom of life.
As a business owner, I work with a lot of other small business owners, and that thing that you say there at the end that can run with or without you, the response is always, oh, well, my business runs better when I'm working in it. I mean, kind of. I mean,
we call that control-itis. It really is the inflammation of control. It's when a business owner really has a hard time letting go of the things that they think they're better at. I can run the business better. I can do the books better. I can do all of these things better, where really that's not the truth. That's just fear. And so when we're able to put this 6-step process in place, and you're able to run your business from a dashboard and truly live your business from objective measures like numbers, and not just how does it feel? How does cash feel? How does the business feel? That's all subjective. And so we run through a 6-step process to give you points where you can make decisions based on facts and not fear or not emotion. And so today I kind of just wanted to go through one of those first steps. So in the 6 steps of running a business, we start with the first step, which is mastery. It goes all the way up, and I'll just quickly state, it goes through niche, which is the second step, all the way to leverage and team and synergy and results. But to start here, I'd just like to talk about mastery. And a lot of businesses that I've been delighted to coach have said, I already have the foundation of the business. That's great. But once we get into it, they recognize that there's a lot of evolvement there that can happen. So mastery truly is a foundation of a business. And guess what it starts with? You. Elita, you know this.
It does. It begins. And I think you're going to go. The next thing you're going to say is it goes into mastery of self, mastery of time, mastery of, oh my gosh, I am not the person that should be on the floor unboxing packages. Though I want to be involved in that. That is not it's not a productive activity for my skill set in my company. And we could be doing so much more if I wasn't doing that work in my business.
Yes, it's truly the difference between being a business owner and being an employee. We should have you doing high level business owner type activity to grow your business, not the actual in the business. So we're working on the business and self-mastery. We're working on how are you truly utilizing your time as the owner, and how are you preparing? Who's holding you accountable? If we say our spouse or one of our friends, truly that doesn't typically happen. So who's your outside support system? So the first part of mastery is self-mastery. We're going to get you to understand that the business is a reflection of you. If you say your team sucks, your systems stink, this is terrible and that's terrible, the reality truly is the business is a reflection of you.
It is. I mean, the business, my team is only as good as I lead them to be. That's at the end of the day. And I said it was when I first hired a business coach, in tears and doing all these things, one of the things that I told her was that I feel like I've led before in a previous life. I was a school principal. I'd done these things. Why can't I apply that to the business that I'm in? And she was like, well, because you just have gaps in areas. And so like you said, mastery of self, mastery of knowing what I do next, mastery of my time is all the foundation of what I think that Action Coach has to offer when they're offering this beginning phases of training for your business, because that's truly what it is.
Yes, there is a lot of self-training. And so someone coming in and just saying, come clean up my business, that's really consulting. What we want to do is make sure that people take ownership in driving the company and being the owner. Elita, the next 3 things really inside of mastery, as you continue to work on self, it is really a process throughout your entire life, is knowing where you're going, destination mastery. There has to be a roadmap to where you're going. Are you growing a $1 million business, a $5 million business, or are you going to franchise this thing and make 20 million, right? So we have to have the right destination. And then delivery. Are we delivering the right products and services to make sure that we're gaining reputation? The second we lose reputation, it's much harder to lose reputation if we can't keep up with operational control. And just the last step to self-mastery is financial mastery. We are not making decisions in the business on what it feels like. Again, going back to that subjective thought, we're making decisions in the business based on numbers. If you don't have a budget, if you don't have a clear budget, if you're not staying within that budget, if you're not being accountable to those things, that's what coaching is about. That is building the foundation, those 4 steps.
I think for me, even as this is my 9th year owning the Funky Monkey, the reality of it is numbers don't lie. And when you have the numbers and you can see the numbers and you can read the numbers, you're doing business in your business. So let's tell people tell me your official title. I don't think we did that at the very beginning. And then tell us where we can find you and some things you have coming up. Well, of course, we'll link all that up top. We'll get you connected with Bree if you want. You can always send me a message, any of those things, but kind of give us that end cap of what is your territory and what you're doing.
Sure. So I am the owner of Action Coach Pearland and Action Coach Friendswood, along with my partner, Holley Debussy. Holley used to own Action Coach Orange County, and I convinced her to come to this part
stole her.
of Texas. Yes, I said that was the best conversion I've had in a long time. So happy that Holley's here. We do currently own Pearland and Friendswood, but we are blessed and lucky enough to be coaching people around the world. And that does happen through the referral process if we get referrals from our clients. But yes, we are very proud to be in the southeastern part of Houston here.
And what is your website? I think that's where you like people to find you. What's the best way for them to find you?
Yes, please find our website, actioncoachpearland.com. Please find us on Facebook, Action Coach Pearland, as well as Instagram, Action Coach Pearland.
And absolutely, we're getting ready to go to Vegas. So this is going to be a lot of fun. This isn't the last time you're going to hear from Bree and myself. We're going to go through this because if we have anything in common, we have a passion for small business, for the love of the hustler in a small business and how to make it work. So I appreciate your time and I appreciate everything that you've done for me personally. And I'm grateful that you're coming on this journey with me. So as always, remember to live happier because adulting is hard, and we'll see you next time, y'all. Bye.
Thank you.